The Maverick pattern. Now, before we go into looking at how to best manage a Maverick, let's have a look at their needs, because this will give us really good insight into how to best manage them based on what their needs are and us tapping into that. So for a Maverick, typically their highest drive will be their dominance. In some instances, it can be their extroversion drive, but typically both of those will be high. So naturally, they want to have an impact. They are driven to be quite independent and want to put their mark on the world. So they've got needs around that of needing their independence, control over their own activities, to be quite innovative and big picture thinking. They also have that high social drive. So they really want to connect, they want to influence, they want to build relationships and probably convince others of their ideas. They then have both a low patience and formality drive. So they love variety, they love change, and they need it in their role. And they also have their lowest drive will always be their formality. So for them, rules and structure, well, guess what? Rules are for other people, not for them. And this will be that area where you'll get to support and coach them when at times they might need to put rules and structure in place for themselves or even others. Now, if we're going to motivate and recognize a Maverick, they love to be recognized for their big picture thinking, for their ideas, for their innovation, and also their relationships and their ability to influence and build networks. So if you're going to recognize them, it needs to be around those things. They're naturally very competitive and goal orientated. So you want to be recognizing them for achieving those goals, making progress, and achieving those big wins whilst taking people on the journey with them. Let them have their independence and control over their own activities. They like to see their own ideas or at least map out their own ideas. They will need to work with other people to delegate, to drill into the details, right? So Maverick are great big picture, but they don't have enough formality to typically see things through right into the detail phase. And offer them challenges and variety in their work. They love that variety. They will naturally keep chopping and changing through tasks and projects. So they need a pretty busy plate, and they need an element of pressure to survive. Now, when you're providing direction and feedback, if their role does have some rules and some expectations, you really do need to be very clear with them around those rules and what are non-negotiable. So I always say with Mavericks, yes, they don't like rules and structure, but there are always non-negotiables in every role. You need to be very clear around what those are so that they know that they're those guidelines. They need frequent and informal feedback. So they need that connection. They need to feel that acceptance. And you need to do that quickly so you can help them course correct, and they'll deal well with that sort of quick on-the-spot feedback. Put them in the right position where their innovative style is of value and it's not going to be destructive, right? Where they're reinventing stuff that doesn't need to be reinvented. So they definitely need to be put in the right space. I would not delegate work that's repetitive. They certainly don't have enough patience for that. Anything too slow moving or too structured, they're going to just resist against. But do delegate them work that is challenging, that's strategic, that needs some innovation and new ways of thinking. They will be naturally motivated by that. Now, if you're going to coach them, it's important that you let them think about and I guess communicate their way of thinking and how they got to their ideas. They will need a sounding board. They will need someone who's going to manage them through hearing their ideas out and filtering their ideas, because they're going to have lots. We've got to find the best ideas. And also ask how they can be role models or change agents who can help others adjust to change. Mavericks lean into change to them. They don't even know they're doing it, but they can really support others who are finding change a little bit more challenging because they can share that positive lens of what change brings. But also help them understand their informal nature might at times hurt them in terms of being too informal for a situation. They might need to up that formality just in terms of protecting their own reputation. That's typically how we would position it, because they do care about their relationships. So often we've got to coach them around that professionalism and how they don't overshare at times during meetings. So there are some areas of coaching they might need. So hopefully this has been helpful in how to best manage a Maverick profile.